Hey, what's up? I missed you. Welcome to the Bonus Footage Podcast. This is episode 1. I am your host, Boyder, and this is the show where I talk to content creators, producers, makers, in front of the camera, behind the camera, artists, entrepreneurs. I'm trying to find the stories of these digital storytellers that I look at on a day-to-day basis on the internet, and I'm thinking, like, how do they do that? I want to have a conversation and talk to them. Hey, how did you do that? So that's why this podcast exists. And today we come out swinging. All right, I don't want to come out swinging with this guest because he's massive and he's accrued a massive following. His name is Jakob Owens. He's the owner and the creator of the YouTube channel The Buff Nerds. He is the Hype Williams of this digital age. That's what I'm saying, and I'm sticking to it. With his 175 million total views on his YouTube channel, over 560,000 subscribers. By the time you see this, there's probably going to be even more. He's mastered documentaries, music videos, sketches, parodies, travel videos, tutorials, you name it. He is nonstop. He's also launched some of your favorite artists' careers, making their content, making their music videos, and you'll hear all about that in this interview. I'm telling you, this guy does not stop working. So I'm very gracious of this time that he's given us to have this conversation, to learn a little bit more about him and the person that's making all this fantastic work. I welcome to you our very first guest of the Bonus Footage Podcast, Jakob Owens. Oh, Jakob Owens, my man, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
How are we living today?
Good, man. Just back in Arizona, enjoying some of this sunny weather because LA's been terrible lately.
It's not rare. It's not often that you can say LA's been terrible weather. So
yeah,
I don't feel so bad for you.
Absolutely.
All right, so 175 million views. We're talking around 565,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I think 566 as of today. I think it went up a little bit, but
okay,
yeah.
Cool. Do you have the ticker? You got that? You got it like?
No, I usually don't look at that.
If I had that money, I would pay attention to it too. But travel videos, tutorials, parodies, sketches, some of the biggest networks in the entire world. And I have a question that when I told people I was going to interview you, they told me I need to ask you this.
Okay.
Do you sleep?
It's so fun. I get that question all the time, like in my Instagram DMs. Like people are do I sleep and how do you work out?
That's another thing too, because a lot of creators, they're like, man, like I'm just gonna go through this part of my life where it's business, and I'm just gonna let my health flounder. I'm gonna put everything into this, and somehow you're able to produce this much content and be a man-child at the same time.
That's probably the question I get the most, like in my Instagram DMs and stuff, is like, bro, like how do you go to the gym and create all this content? Like especially with stuff I've been putting out recently, like everyone's been like, bro, you've been putting out so much stuff, like how do you go to the gym? And I'm like, it's not hard. You wake up an hour earlier you just go do it. And to me, when you do those, like when you go to the gym and you do work out, even if it's for 30 minutes, like you have 30 minutes in your day, you can't tell me you don't. Whether it's at home or in the gym, you feel better throughout the day. You will have more energy. I find that when I skip the gym and maybe like I go on this little thing where I haven't gone for like 3 or 4 days, it's so easy to then you get more tired, you get lazier, and then I find myself being less productive because all I want to do is sit and lay around, and I become. So to me, if you just make that extra effort and you go to the gym and work out, it's going to increase your productivity. So maybe that's the secret. You go work, and then you can create all that content.
Man,
so.
you just kept a lot of health and phys ed programs in schools with that comment right there. Man, that's
that's a big part of how I've always been. That's where the Buff Nerds name came from. Is like, yo, I do video production. That's like nerdy. And typically you don't have people in that world, like that techie kind of side, that are like athletes. And I'm like a fit dude, athlete, play sports. So I was like, yo, I'm the buff nerd. And that's kind of like where it stems from. So,
well, I mean, from the first time I saw that name, I got it instantly, and
Yeah.
and that, you know, seeing some of your work, I was thankful because
Yeah.
like I said before, the misconception of like you can't be healthy and successful at
Yeah.
the same time. I was like, this guy's showing it. He's showing you the behind the scenes. He's putting out all the work, and you're living it. Now, I guess let's carry that right into like a question that I had. What is your morning routine? Do you work out first thing, or do you?
Yeah, first. So basically, I wake up and I might like check a couple emails or something. And then typically I don't eat breakfast. I pretty much within the hour of waking up, 30 minutes to an hour, I'll go to the gym, work out.
Nope.
Usually not that long. People are like, "What do? You go for like an hour and a half, 2 hours?" I'm like, "No, I go for like 45 minutes."
Yeah.
And like I just hang it out when I'm there. Like I'm super ADD in the gym, so I'm like I can't just like do a set and like wait for like 2-3 minutes. Like I'm just constantly moving in the gym. So I go work out, come back home, and I'll have like a protein shake or something. Then I get on the computer, start editing or answering more emails, or usually I'm always editing something, so I'll be editing and just kind of working throughout the day after that.
Yeah.
So literally when I wake up in the morning, I don't just pop out of bed and head to the gym. Some days I might, but I'll wake up, kind of get acclimated, do maybe a little work, then head to the gym. But usually that's always the first thing I do to start off my day. And like I said, to me, it makes me much more productive, because if I don't, I feel like that kind of midway through the day, I get a little more tired, or, you know, then I'm like, I'll skip the gym. And then it's easy to start that next day to get into that rhythm. Like, I'll skip the gym today, I'm busy. Like, and then like you fall into this pattern of like kind of laziness and being unproductive as far as your health goes. So to me, that's the first thing you got to do to start your day.
Yeah.
Got in. So
because what happens is someone, you know, that is connected as you, as many opportunities come your way. By the time 5 o'clock rolls around, you don't know if, so and so wants to shoot a video right here. Like, I got some free time. You're gonna run and do that, and you're gonna put the work out.
Well, that's when a lot of things will happen throughout the day. Whether it's like a meeting or a phone call. Like usually those aren't gonna like spring at 8 in the morning. You're not gonna get like, hey, you want to meet for this? Let's chat about this or do this. So it's like you get that stuff out of the way. You don't have to worry about it, because exactly, if you wait, something's gonna come up later in the day where you're like, no, I'm busy. I don't need to go to the gym tomorrow.
Yeah.
So again. Yeah, just do it first thing to start your day off right. So
in all seriousness though, like, what are you saying? Like 6 hours of sleep a night, 7?
I typically,
what are you averaging?
Honestly, lately I used to be terrible with going to sleep, but lately I've been falling asleep at like midnight, and that's like good for me. Like it used to be like 2-3 a.m. But yeah, usually it's like midnight, and then I'm up by 6:30 or 7 is usually when I wake up. So usually like 6 hours of sleep-ish. Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, if you were at a barbecue, right, and someone comes up to you with his buddy, and they say, here's Jacob, and they say, oh, Jacob, what do you do? How do you respond? What do you do? How do you put that in a sentence?
I don't know if I put it in a sentence. Usually I just be like, I'm a director editor. Like,
Yeah.
I don't say I'm a YouTuber. Oh, I do I don't know. I just say I'm a director editor.
Yeah.
And then the next question after that is like, oh, what do you direct? What do you edit? And then typically I'll be like, oh, like music videos is kind of my main shtick. But then, I do, stuff for behind the scenes, like teaching people how to do stuff. I'll, travel videos, like, and kind of go into like everything, but usually just I direct and edit stuff.
So you test the waters with the direct and edit, because sometimes that conversation can lead a direction you don't want it to go. They're asking questions kind of out of like they do it too. Oh, what are you up to? Like, what kind of things? And they want to start comparing. Or every now and then you'll get the people that truly want to collaborate, and it's like, what's up, man? Tell me.
Like, if they're interested past that, like I'll be like, I direct and edit. And then if they're interested past that, it's like, oh, what do you direct and edit? Rather than me right off the bat, like I direct and edit music videos, films, like travels. Like, it's like, if they want to know more, then like, But and at the same time, like, I mean, I guess as a whole, like, I make videos, like, because I make music videos, films, I make YouTube videos, but it always sounded like I would never meet someone and be like, I make videos, because that seems so like unprofessional. Like, like, what do you mean you make videos? Like, usually just say like edit.
Girls with their Snapchat make videos,
I make, exactly.
I make vids. So what project would you say totally kickstarted you? The one thing where you're like, wow, I can do this for a living.
So it was back in high school. I always made, like, growing up, I always made little movies with my brother and, like, our neighborhood friends. We'd film anything from, like, our Hot Wheels cars, make little car movies with our, like, old tape camera, film ourselves dunking outside and make our own, like, NBA All-Star Weekend dunk videos. And like, we made our own ESPN show where we got, like, dressed up. We had papers. We had our PlayStation TV playing in the back, or, like, on loop. And, like we're always filming stuff. And then through high school.
You're into it. You're into it from the gate.
I always like doing it with, like, the home camera. And then in high school, like, I continued just kind of shooting random stuff again with friends, little movies. And one of my high school buddies who was on the football team was like, "Yo, you want to make, like, a video for the football team?" Like, and I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so I made that video, and then it ended up, like, I guess turning out pretty good to where, like, they brought it to, like, the school and was like, "Hey, can we play this at the pep rally?" And the school was like, "Yeah, sure." So the video played at the pep rally. And they, like, announced that I had made it, like, and the whole day, the rest of the day at school, I had people coming up to me, and teachers were just like, "That video was so good. Like, you should do this. Like, you should make videos for it." And I was like, "Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do." So it was like that was the moment where it was like, this is what I want to do for my career. I want to make, I want to make movies and videos. So, yeah.
So that's nice feedback. You semi fell into it, you know. That reaction, the world giving you that feedback, saying like, "Hey, this is cool." You're like, "Wow, I don't need permission to do this." I'm good.
Yeah, just kind of like it was something that I just like. I wasn't pursuing it as like, "Oh, this is what I'm going to do for a job." It was just something I liked doing, and I was obviously pretty good at it. But going back and watching the video, I'm like, "This is absolutely terrible." But it was just something I liked doing, and then like you said, just kind of the feedback of everyone, like, "Well, this is awesome. It was you should do this." It's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this." So, yeah.
And the first one that actually picked up traction that you made, you conceptualized, and online it was 100,000 views, and you were like, "Wow, like a story I can tell can reach this amount of people."
So it wasn't necessarily that. It was more the first music video I did because, again, I was like in college, I was going to film school, and I was like making videos, and at film school making little videos and whatnot. And then Futuristic, Zach Beck, went to high school with me. We were on the basketball team together, and he, kind of did music back then. I was doing the video thing, and it wasn't until college I was like at the film school. He's like, "Yo, you go to film school, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You want to make a music video?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, sure, let's do it." Like, we had both, like, it was his first time, it was my first time, and we went out and shot a video in Tempe, and we put it out. And, like, after we put it out on the YouTube channel, like, the next few days, I had all these people from Arizona, like, hit me up, like, "Oh, you do music videos? How much you charge?" Like, a lot of people. And I was just like, I guess I do now. So that's what started me, like, actually, like, working, making money doing it, / making the music videos, started me getting into it, was kind of that moment. And then just I think the first one that really kind of started to do well is I met this kid, Kyle, who was KID at the time, but Kyle, he has that new song with Lil Yachty, I Spy. That's everywhere right now.
What's the one lyric? There's one that stands out.
A girlie I can get 'cause she don't get too many likes.
Yeah, but we made, again, like him, Zach, Futuristic, and this guy Samson were like the first couple I started with. But me and Kyle did this video, and he remixed Lemonade by, I think it was Gucci Mane or something like that, and we shot a video to that. And that was the first video on my YouTube channel. This was still very early on, where like I remember surpassing like 10 or 20,000 views, and at the time that was huge because it was like, "Oh snap, like what?" Like, and then that one grew, and that one's well over 1 million now. But like at the time, that was like the first one where like a little more traction to the channel towards my videos, like and like got everyone who was doing videos to me like super juiced. So yeah.
Where did you meet Kyle? Was that in
I met Kyle through Samson, who was another artist that I worked early on with. He was quarterback at ASU.
Yes.
Met him, at ASU because he saw the video of me and Zach, Futuristic, what we had shot on Mill Avenue, that first video we dropped. And so became friends with him. And he was just like, when we were shooting video, he's like, yo, there's this really young cat back from my hometown. He's really dope. You should meet him. And literally I hit him up on Facebook. I was like, yo, I'm coming to California with Samson. He said he lives near you. When I'm in town, you want to shoot a video? And that's when I met him and we shot that Lemonade video. So yeah.
Yeah, I like that story because I want to transition that and speak to the importance of having creative friends in your life.
Yeah.
How important is it to have people on the same wavelength as you're making these projects?
Absolutely. I mean, well, not only just creative people, but just like people in general, because it's like
humans. You can't do everything by yourself. Yeah.
Just to have friends that you can create with, like I feel like it's mutually beneficial on both parties. Like I wouldn't be where I'm at without them because they gave me something to create and put out there. Yeah. And at the same time, they wouldn't be where they're at if it weren't for me creating their thing. So it's like you always need someone. Like anyone that says like, oh, I did it on my own. Like, no, like you needed other people to climb that ladder and like help each other out. So anytime, and obviously the more creative people you have around you, the more creative content you're going to put out, and the more creative content that's out there, the more looks that's going to give you. And so always important to have like some good friends and creative people around you to not only help you with that, but throw ideas your way. And and
going back to the barbecue scene we were talking about earlier, if you have your creative boys around you, you're usually not, like talking about trivial small talk things. You're usually talking ideas like, yo, what if we turn this into a scene? And it's fun. Everything is a project, like an 8th grade project with you if you have creative buddies.
One of my most creative friends, DY, most people know him by, David Morris. I live with him in LA, and like he's always like, if I get stuck on something or like, bro, I can't, like, listen to this song, let me know if anything hits you. Like he's always right there. And like we'll be going to the movies or something, and like we're just like throwing ideas back and forth. Like we have so many ideas for like movies and TV shows and stuff, like just because we're always like randomly just thinking of like funny creative ideas, and well, not just funny, but just creative ideas in general. And so yeah, I mean, when you're around those people, like that's just what you talk about is like just like I like creative ideas and stuff that pop into your head for sure.
The culture of YouTube, right? And I want to know this, and I think a lot of people deal with the fear of the negative side of YouTube. So with all the followers you've gained, right? All the love, all the likes. Absolutely, because of that attention, a little more negativity creeps in as well. With that success, how do you deal with any negativity that might be thrown up in the air?
Like on YouTube, or
YouTube, well,
YouTube.
Trolling.
I used to be early on. I used to be really bad about like responding a lot to the negativity. Like, no, bro, you don't know what you're talking about, like that. And from time to time, I'll still do it, but in a more like. I was very serious about the response. Like, no, I'll do it now as like a troll. Like, oh yeah, for real, man. Like that was terrible, or like, nah, I don't know. Like, it doesn't bother me now. But if someone sees me respond to something, like I'm not offended by it because I just know, I know it doesn't matter what artist or how good it is. You're always gonna have someone that dislikes it, whether you're Drake, Eminem, like it doesn't matter how good. I mean, I have a video out there about my brother's heart surgery, overcoming heart surgery, said he was never going to play sports again, survives, goes on to win state championship, blah, blah, blah. And there's like there's not a bunch, but there's dislikes on the video.
Yeah.
Like
who in their soul? Who has that in their heart?
Exactly. It's just, there's people out there that are, no matter what the project or video is, they're going to spew hate or throw a dislike or whatever. So you can't take it too personal because it doesn't matter. It could be the most perfect video in the world, but to someone else, it's not perfect. So it just, you just have to kind of either ignore it or just have fun with them, or I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think you're saying that like you used to take it a little more personal. Now you just have fun with it. You say, what, this is what you sign up for when you sign up for success. You're going to get people that your success reminds them a little bit of the fact that they're still sitting in their basement and not making anything happen. And just hope the best for them. Eventually I want you to come over here and see what it's like to be on the playing field.
Yeah.
So what is one of the biggest obstacles you've had to overcome while on set or shooting a video? Anything jump to mind?
No, I mean, the only thing that comes to mind when you say that is just like terrible experiences on set. Not so much like in like an obstacle where it was like, yo, we like can't overcome this, but more just so like just bad experiences on video shoots with like artists and stuff. So
interesting. I don't know how much you can.
Yeah, I'll just really quickly. It was I'm not gonna say.
Don't drop a name.
I was just in St. Louis, and it was just a really kind of crazy ratchet video shoot. And the artist ended up was drunk and high, and it was super late, and I needed to go back to my hotel, and he was like, "Oh, I'll give you a ride," and I was like, "Oh, no one else can take me." And this is when I was shooting videos by myself at 20 years old in a different state across the country
with all your equipment and
all my equipment. He's like, "No, I got you," and we get in the car, and then there's just I'm in the passenger side, and right on my window is like bang, bang, bang on the window, door rips open. Guy reaches in across my lap in the glove box, pulls out a gun, puts a clip in, and just like, "Don't want y'all riding dirty," and closes the door and runs off. And I was just like, I was dumbfounded. As soon as I got back to my hotel, I booked an airplane ticket back home, turned off my phone so the artist couldn't reach me, and it was like, I'm out of here. Like I don't care. Like I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the craziest experience. And so I guess in terms of hurdles, like coming up, the biggest hurdle, like dealing with upset clients, I guess would be a big hurdle trying to overcome, because that's always, it's not fun for anyone, and it's always tough trying to you still be nice and cool, but I don't know. It's so that's probably artist relationships, maybe in a negative way. Yeah, trying to deal with that.
I think I saw something that you posted about that topic on social media, and I think you alluded to the fact that you're gonna, because of that, you're gonna start taking on more personal passion projects.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Because a lot as of late, just when you're shooting a video for someone else or directing a video, you have your vision and they also have their vision and ideas, and so the way you edit it or shoot it, you'll love it, and it's like, oh, you'll love it the way it is, and they're like, oh no, I don't want these shots, throw these drone shots in there, and to you it's like, bro, these drone shots are on a camera this big and be shot with red epic, they look like ass, they don't mesh up, but the artist just wants them in there because of this or that, and then so you're left there like, gosh, now my video is gonna look like, this is not how I want it to look, but I have to do it because these people are paying me, or they're, so lately I've been taking less videos and more of the videos that I really want to do and collab with and really believe in the song and know will be fun or cool, and then just do more of my own stuff. I've been doing a lot more traveling, and because I've always loved to travel and shoot stuff, so been doing more of that recently, and I've shot a couple short films recently. They're not out yet, but a couple films that I've written and directed with a buddy, and so just doing more of my own personal stuff this year has been a big priority to me. So for sure.
The travel ones are super, super inspiring.
Thanks, man. Those by far have been the most received project I've ever put out there. Anytime I put one of those out on Instagram or something, the feedback and messages and I get from people are nuts. The comments will be a couple hundred comments, and and people DMing me, bro, you're my inspiration, you're my and it's crazy. It's so by far those have been the most well received videos, because I think it just inspires people to kind of I don't know what it is about them that really resonates with people. So
people enjoy escapism. They also enjoy the fact that 99 out of 100 people could go on that same trip, but not be able to pick up on the details, the subtleties that would make that story come together. They're very much highlight reel, but you're living it. You're done that video, and you're like, man, I went on vacation with Jacob in his bay, and and life's good.
Well, that's what it's funny. My girlfriend, when she watches it, she's like, she's like, I love these because I feel like I was there. I feel like I was there with you. I've had a lot of people say that, like, someone commented one time, they're like, bro, I felt like I could smell the ocean. Like, I felt like, like, so yeah, I think people respond to it because it's like strictly my creativity and my work. It's not like me doing something for someone else. So it's like strictly all of me. So they see it, and not only is it really cool, and like you said, people love like escapism and travel and stuff, but it's just kind of like that all encompassing, like, it has an inspirational feel to it too, and people really respond to like inspirational stuff.
Yeah.
And so then it being all me and my creativity and everything I've done personally, like, so people just like, yo, like, this is amazing, love it. So yeah, kind of all that stuff. So
where's your next adventure?
I'm going to Kauai in like a little over a week. So
Hawaii,
I've never been
again? Is that wait?
Yeah.
Again,
I've never been to Kauai.
Different island, yeah.
Different island. So I've been to like the Big Island like 5 times. I've been to Oahu 2 or 3 times. But I've never been to Kauai, and so I'm going to Kauai with, like, it's funny. It was going to be my brother's birthday, like, trip. It was like a special thing for me and him and a friend. And I posted something on Twitter like, going to Kauai in like a month or something like that. And then I had like 4 of my friends text me like, bro, I'm coming.
They want in on the video.
Exactly. After seeing the videos, they're like, bro, I have to be there.
Yeah.
So now there's like 8 of us, and so now it's going to be like a big group thing, and they're all like, bro, I can't wait. Like, so that's cool.
Yeah.
It just shows like it's definitely like reaching people to where they're like, I can't miss out on this. Like, and so yeah, and it's going to be cool because never done Kauai, going to be there a week, and Kauai is beautiful. So
yeah.
I'm when we get some crazy stuff.
Can you jump off of Mad-ish for me? Because
oh yeah,
lots of backflips.
Yeah,
do one for me, man. Just yell my name.
So I might have to. Like, I've jumped off like cliff jump a ton, but I've never like backflipped or anything because I'm scared I'm just gonna like land wrong. Like, and I can backflip, like, but it's
a lot.
Doing it off a 30-foot cliff is so different than doing it on a trampoline or something. So it's like, yeah, I haven't pulled one of those yet. So
and you're traveling too. You don't want to like ding a knee and mess up the whole week. But
well, that's the thing. Like, even like the last trip, like I was in the ocean and I stepped on a really sharp rock and it cut the bottom of my foot open on like the first or second day, and so the rest of the week it was just like it sucked walking and hiking, like, it just, and trying to film. So it's like, yeah, you want to be like adventurous and do stuff, but at the same time you're like, man, like, I don't want to get hurt, so I can like enjoy the rest of the trip and film everything. Because it's like, yeah, if I did something crazy and ended the trip, that wouldn't be too good. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see.
I'll definitely be watching it on socials and everything like that. Super jealous. The creative friends aspect, though, I want to dig back into that. So say you're in a room and you're with Futuristic and you have this light bulb go off. You have an idea for a video, right? What does the storyboarding process look like? Do you get out your paper and pen? Do you guys get whiteboard? Do you like say a little bit and then remember a month later, or
Yeah, I mean, really remember it, like, because like actually this kind of happened not too long ago. Zach Futuristic sent me like a list of his songs, like, from his upcoming album, which is like, yo, just take a listen. And he just wanted me to listen and get feedback. And then I heard one of the songs and just it like hit me for this video idea. I was like, oh bro, this would be hella hard. Like, and so I called him and was like, just telling him about the idea, and he loved it. And then he was like, yeah, what if we do that and mix in a little bit of this? And I was like, yeah, perfect. And we didn't write any of it down. I don't have storyboard anywhere, but I have it up here.
It's up there.
I know exactly what we talked about and whatnot. I typically don't storyboard or write anything down. In the past, I would shot list before a video typically, but then I would never even use the shot list because, like, I don't know. It just, I never even, so I rarely ever write stuff, draw stuff out and down. I usually have it up here, or if not, I'll make a treatment on like my computer. But that's not too often I do that. Yeah. But yeah, I'll make a treatment.
And that's for your personal stuff. If you're working with a client, does it look a little differently?
Yeah, if I'm working with a client, typically you always have to like formulate some sort of treatment so they know like what's to be expected and what their video is going to look like and this and that. So, yeah, usually if you're working with a client and they're paying you, you pretty much always
present it.
Have some sort of document that you can be like, hey, this is what it's gonna look like or
Yeah.
be. They can't see what is in your head. But someone with Zach, who I work close with, or Kyle even, we know each other and we know what each other can do and this and that. So it's like I don't need to show him like, hey Zach, like it's gonna look like this.
I promise.
Yeah, I promise. Like he trusts that it's gonna
at this
happen.
point. Yeah, that.
So like artists that I work closely with like that, I don't have to do it. But clients that or new artists that I haven't really worked with before, typically you gotta always kind of submit something.
So you're the Jay-Z of video production. It's all up here.
Yeah, it's all up there. Yeah.
So no even shot list when you're shooting. Yeah, because that can almost pull you away from the action. And
so much changes on set when you're in the moment. Like it's not like you picture it in your head, like all perfect, and so you're just kind of rolling with it as it goes. And so I've before on some of my bigger shoots, I've always written a shot list because that's my way of like calming myself down as far as like planning it out. Like, okay, I want to make sure I don't miss this. I don't want to miss like, where there's more involved. But then I never end up like even referring to it ever. Cause I think that I've gone over it so much, like
got it
in my head and written it down that it's just stuck up there. And also just things change when you're in the moment. Like that close-up shot that you may have wanted, you realize once you're on set now, like at the location you're at, it doesn't make sense to do a close-up shot here. Like, so you don't even, so you just kind of roll with the punches. So yeah, I mean, there's been times like I've definitely written shot lists. And I still think it's good for certain people because not everyone is going to be the same. Not everyone's going to be able to roll with the punches or remember everything they, wrote down or want to do. So everyone's different. So just because I don't use the shot list doesn't mean, someone else shouldn't either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with it. Can you give some constructive criticism to a younger version of you? So maybe Jakob Owens 5 years ago. What would you be in the corner and what would you want to tell that cat?
Man, I would say if I could
grow a beard earlier.
Probably that's kind of become a thing now. So although my mom doesn't like it, but
nah, they don't.
No,
it's good for the brand.
No, for sure. The biggest thing I would say is just network. Like early on, I didn't like doing that, and that's everything. Like the more people the more opportunities are going to come, the more jobs are going to be thrown your way. Like that's where everything comes from, is from knowing someone. That's where my biggest opportunities have come from, is from knowing someone who was like, yo, Jake, we want to get you on this project or this or that. So, and that's something I hated doing and I still don't like to do. So, I would say that push networking harder. Yeah.
Someone comes to you and they say, hey, Jacob, fam, I need to shoot this music video for Drake. But my only camera equipment and the only thing I can use is my iPhone. So all they got is an iPhone. What's some advice you would give them?
So they only have an iPhone to shoot a Drake video?
Yeah.
Get creative with the edit, for sure. That would be the biggest thing. Like, and for the most part, it's always in the edit anyways. I've gotten some videos that were shot on really, really nice camera, or I've seen videos shot on really, really nice cameras, and then the edit is terrible, the color is terrible, and thusly, like, the video ends up looking like trash.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what camera it was shot on.
No emotion, no nothing, yeah.
That happened early on in my career, and that's how I met someone who got me a lot of big jobs. Is this guy, he directed a video for Hoodie Allen. The edit was turning out terrible. Like, after, like, 3 or 4 edits, it still wasn't good. Hoodie hit me up directly, was like, yo, can you please edit this thing?
Change this.
In the first edit I sent to him, he's like, bro, this is it. Perfect. Thank you. Put it out the next day. And the videos, the same footage, but the 2 videos were just night and day different. And so it was just literally all in the edit. Like, so that's the biggest thing I would say, is just get creative with the edit.
That'd be a tight, like a tight reality show. Three different editors, one shooter, right? And they give all the same raw footage to 3 different guys, and then fans vote on. They post it all the same day. Fans vote which video is the hottest.
Yeah, That's kind of tight.
Maybe we executive produce that in a couple
Yeah,
of
we
years.
might have to do some sort of show contest or something like that.
Yeah.
That's an idea. Because it's funny, I did an editing contest probably 4 years ago with some old footage of mine, and I had like a JOP edit contest, and it was crazy. The difference between all the different like edits and stuff was wild. Some were terrible and some were great. Like, so it's like it really is all in like the edit and the color and like stuff. Like you can either make something look trash or make that same thing look amazing.
Fire.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's dig into that then. What would you that person, right? Let's say you get two different. One person sends you back a fire edit. Like, why is, if you can put a finger on it, what makes that edit better, quicker? They're like more. How do you build emotion in the edit?
I would say pacing, like listening to sounds in the music. That's one thing I always got is people ask me if I did music or like produced anything, because I would edit to certain sounds in the music that are like so faint or not really noticeable. And it's like, it'd be like, and you're always so on beat with like certain edits and stuff. And I was like, no, it's just something I pick up on. So I think like pacing and editing to the sounds of the music, like it's like, even with the music, like my travel videos, I don't edit the video and then put music in there. I literally find the music I want, like, and I'm like, oh, this would work really good with these clips, and then I'm like, yeah, this is the song I want to use. I lay down the song, and then literally start piecing the edit to the song. Like the bigger moments in the song, I use the biggest moment that feels like like clip wise, and I put that there. So it's like it's really the pacing and editing to the music and the sounds of the music to where something, like if I take that same moment where the song gets all of a sudden like, oh, like the heavens are opening up, and I put a clip of some grass instead of a clip of the sun coming through, silhouette of a diver swimming.
Yeah.
Like that's where you just timing of the music and the edit and the rhythm and pacing. Like I'd say that's the biggest thing, is what makes an edit big or impactful and good, and an edit that's trash. Like I can pick up right away a bad edit, just the beats like making all this fast cuts, and there it's just like cut, long cut, like
yeah.
Instead of using those sounds to cut to that, it's like, so to me that's probably the biggest thing.
So merge the senses, merge the visual and the audio.
Yeah.
And make it one emotional piece. And it's funny you do say that. One of your travel videos, you have grass like kind of blowing in the wind earlier in the scene, and then towards the end, I think like your brother or you are like popping out of the ocean. You see the sun and
exactly.
Now, is teaching a part of your family? Because I've noticed you doing more of these instructional, learning out loud type of videos.
Well, I've always been like pretty transparent with like how I do certain things, or how, like, I mean, that's why I wrote this video manual way back even like 3 or 4 years ago, is I would get all these questions on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and like what lenses you use, this and that. I would answer all those questions, and it got to be too much to where someone suggested like, oh, you should write a manual how you shoot your videos. I was like, all right, cool. And I put that out, and people really responded to it, because it was like, yo, he's sharing like how he does all his stuff. Like he's not just like keeping it for himself. And more recently on like YouTube and stuff, I've been trying to like do little tutorials here and there to like help people. And I recently just put out my new video manual that talks about not only just filmmaking and how to make the best videos and talk everything from pre-production to post-production, but also like how to take that and make it a business as well, with making your own products, making money on Amazon and YouTube, and like dealing with other websites that like, you can get brand deals for your videos, and like just so much more than just like filmmaking. And I put that out there, and people were like, yo, like this is crazy that he shares all this information, because a lot of people don't. A lot of directors or just people that make videos keep to themselves. They don't want anyone knowing how they do certain things. And to me, like I feel like that's a sense of insecurity. Like they feel like someone could take their job or sneak in and learn stuff and to me, I don't care. To me, there's enough work going around, and I feel secure with what I make and create, that it doesn't matter what I tell them, they're still not going to be able to make what I make, because I'm me and they're not me. So So yeah, I've always been super transparent with like how I do things, and I feel like that's how I've also built a following, is because people respond to that and they appreciate that, and yeah. So I feel like that's attributed to a lot of my following and success as well. It's just being open with people and like helping people as well.
Yeah.
So I wish I would have had someone like that coming up. Like,
who did you watch coming up? I mean, it would be, imagine like Hype Williams doing that.
Dude, it's so funny you say that. I had someone exactly say that. They're like, bro, you're like what if you had I think it was on Matt Workman's podcast. He mentioned something about like it's cool you're helping people, and he's like, it would have been cool coming up if someone like on that level, Hype Williams, was talking about how he did stuff. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, like that's crazy that I could potentially be that to someone else. I'm no Hype Williams, but I'm just saying, like,
I mean, that manual sounds fantastic, and I'm gonna pick it up after the call here. But there are going to be kids that are going to get more value out of that they can make a living off of than 4 years of college.
Yeah,
like,
that would be way more expensive. And I had someone say that. Someone bought the like manual, and I remember they messaged me and like, bro, I've been going to film school for 2 years, and you taught me more than like I know. And so it's cool that like it helps people, and there might be some people that know a lot of information in there, but like what I've said, there's so many different types of information in there. I was like, you'll learn something from this in there that you didn't know before. And like, for example, there's one thing in there that talks about linking Amazon products in your videos for YouTube, and how you can make money by people clicking on those links and buying the products you use to make your videos. Like, that's a way to connect video and help you
make some bread,
some money. And like, literally, like, if you sell a few products doing that through me telling you this, you've now paid for the manual, like, with that. So it's like, there's people, I've had several people like, bro, like $70 for this thing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you my everything. If you feel that's not worth it, like you don't feel like you're worth it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's an investment. It's like a video game. Sure, go spend $60 on a video game and not towards your career.
And be able to put food on your table from it.
And I'm not trying to rip anyone off by like charging. I mean, it's lots of information. It's my work. It's my everything behind the scenes. I don't want to necessarily just give it all for free. Like, I want to, I need to make a living as well. And so this is, like, I don't want anyone feeling like I'm trying to rip them off or this or that. Like, cause my response is like, I don't have to put this out there. Like, I am putting it out there. I hope. Like, be one of those directors who tells you nothing and like doesn't give you any information, but I'm not. So,
well, it weeds out the people that really care and the people that don't. Everyone would buy it if it was $5, but you're gonna get people that, cause it's a little more, they're gonna be fully committed to it, and they're gonna reap benefits, hit you up and say, hey fam, here's 10 grand, thanks for helping me out. Maybe not 10 grand, but maybe they'll be generous. All right, so let's get super technical as we wrap it up here. If you were to travel the world for 1 year, right, and you could only bring one camera, one lens, and one piece of equipment, what would you bring?
Canon 1DX Mark II, Canon 16 to 35 millimeter wide angle lens, f4, and a glide cam.
And tell me why the 16 to 35, because I'm not as advanced as you. I'm more of an idea guy. I want to break it down why that would be your universal go-to.
Because I love wide angle shots, but at the same time, you still get a little bit of range in there with being able to go to the 35. But if you're traveling and adventuring, like, you want to be able to see where you're at. You don't want to be on a tight lens where it's nothing but leaves, trees, grass, and that's it. You want to be able to, like, boom, look at this opening to this mountain range and this and that. So being able to just catch all those wide moments and then go in close and get somewhat of a close-up if you need to. And also, it's got image stabilization on it. So, it not only it's going to help you keep, if there's jitters or something, keep it nice and smooth. So, and I'm, like I said, fan of wide angle shots in general. So 16 to 35 is always kind of like my go-to lens when I'm on trips and stuff, just because it's also very small and light. So it's not very easy. And then glide cam, people always ask me, glide cam or Ronin? Like, Ronin, you need batteries, you need the remote, it's bigger, like bulky. glide cam, this is your battery right here.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
so you just grab it and go. You don't need batteries. You don't need charge stuff. And then the 1DX, because it's just a beast between photos and videos. It does both really, really well.
Sure.
You know, a lot of cameras either do one thing really well, like photos, or they do video well, but don't do great photos. So the 1DX is like the perfect blend of that. And I just got that camera recently, and I love it for that reason, because you don't want to miss a moment when you're traveling. You don't want to be switching cameras and like, oh, I got a great photo, but wait, let me get out my camera for video and get the same thing. So it's like, yeah.
One of your recent videos made me change this question. I saw the Rory Kramer. You kind of did an instructional video of like what how to do his lyric style in the videos. So I was like, you know, I'm going to change the wording of this question because it reminded me. I ran into him at Madison Square Garden. I had a good conversation with him, and I noticed him put his school bag down. And I don't know if you've ever hung out with him, but on the inside of his school bag it says, "You're only as good as your last video."
Yeah.
I love that, and I was like, man, like, why do you have that? He was like, because things move so fast, and you can get complacent and feel good about your last video. Meanwhile, 10 other people make one better than you in the next 48 hours. He's like, you constantly got to be creating. So if you had the opportunity to make a message for every school bag that is manufactured, that's going to go out to all the 18 to 25-year-olds in the next year, what would that message be on the inside of that school bag?
Probably do what you want. Like, do what you want to do. Like, don't sit back. In short, that's what it would say. But don't sit back and, like, wait for something to happen, or, like, oh, I'll do this, you know, years from now, like, or because that time ain't, like, just do what you want to do. And that's why this year I've done so much more, like, traveling and the films and stuff, because I was, like, literally at the beginning of the year, I was like, you know what? This year I'm going to make it about doing what I want to do and not shooting other people's stuff. Yeah. So just – do what you want.
And I'm sure that you doing what you want to do has invited more of what you want to do as a result.
And not that it has happened right now, but I feel like more of that will come. Like, already, like with the travel stuff, I wasn't planning on right away, like, I'm going to start making money doing travel videos and this and that. It was literally something I wanted to do. But even recently, I've had like several people reach out and want to buy the footage from me, like buy the stock footage. And I was like, oh snap, like tight, like, you know. I've sold some of it already, and I'm only, you know, I'm technically a newbie to the whole like travel video stuff. Even though I've traveled for a while, I just never really like made videos doing it until, you know, maybe this last 2 years. But yeah, I mean, so the more like, and that was me just doing it because I love to do it and I wanted to do it, and little things like that are starting to pop up. So it's like, again, it goes back to the, like, if you do what you love, the money will follow, or the whatever will follow. So if you just really kind of pursue something, do what you want to do what you love, you know, the success will follow if you keep pushing at it. And so
what is a YouTube video that you wish you would have made, that you saw and you were like, man, I wish I made that. I wish I was part of that concept.
Probably one of the Casey Neistat videos where he's like snowboarding in New York, you know, like one of those like crazy ones. Or the one that I saw a long time ago by him. It was like a little Nike commercial where he like kind of traveled the world
with the like, money that he got.
Yeah. I remember seeing that like years ago and being like, oh man, that's amazing. I mean, at the time I was in no position to do that. I was still like young and in college or whatever, but it was like, I think that also was, Casey's always done some really cool stuff YouTube video wise where I'm like, oh man, like, that would have been cool to do. But probably that Nike one. I remember that one resonated with me a lot because, I mean, I've always been very adventurous, and not only I thought it was like well produced, but it kind of probably ignited that little bit of like me wanting to like travel and make videos. Yeah. So probably that one.
It kind of encapsulated the whole like working for someone else like fight that creators have, you know. It kind of like told that story in a liberating way and saying, hey, like, they wanted me to do this, but I'm doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
What would you be doing if you weren't directing or working in video?
if probably something in the fitness industry, it would be cool to be like a sports trainer for the Suns or like some like professional team to,
Yeah.
I'd probably be somewhere trying to do that, be like a physical trainer or whatnot for some sports team probably, because I love sports, love working out, fitness, so probably something with that.
Someone's, let's go to someone's graduating. Either they're 18, 23, leaving college, going through a transition, leaving a job. Is there a book that you would recommend anyone read going through that move?
See, I've been my book, my manual. No, I'm just kidding. I
works.
I'm so bad with like reading books and stuff, and I honestly I can't even tell you the last book I read. So
you know what? I love that answer.
Yeah,
like you're making your own book. You're creating the content. You're not consuming other people.
Yeah.
You're not waiting for permission. You're make your book. Maybe let's.
And essentially, my thing is a book. It's 120 pages of information about how to do things, light stuff, my experiences, what I like to do. Like essentially, it is a book, but in a digital PDF format with pictures.
Cool.
That you can learn from. So
cool. We'll link the heck out of that then.
There you go.
Yo, thank you for putting your content in the world, man. You do it with grace. You do it with there's a lot of people in we've been in this music industry for a little bit. There's a lot of people that aren't the best role models, right?
Yeah.
And I think you're doing a cool thing by you got the health thing on lock. You're the bionic man of video production, man. You're making great stuff. Keep the quality up, and thank you for your time today. Is there anything, anywhere you want to send anyone? Where can we follow you?
Yeah, all my social media, I'm really on just like Instagram and Twitter. For the most part, it's just at Jakob Owens. My name spelled with a K, so Jakob Owens. So at Jakob Owens, and then my YouTube channel, The Buff Nerds, and that's where you guys can find my work, stay up to date, follow me, do all that good stuff.
Cool. I urge you guys to go say hello to this man. If you're sitting in your house and you're kind of like twiddling your thumb one day thinking about playing a video game, and then you watch this dude go from set to set to set, like you're gonna want to get up and make your own stuff. So keep doing what you're doing, man. Thank you for the time.
All right, thank you. Peace out, guys.
My man. All right, I'll just save this real quick. That audio synced. Hey, thanks for listening. Send Jacob some love on Instagram. Jakob Owens. Jakob Owens. And on his YouTube, The Buff Nerds. Tell him I said hello. Tell him thank you for coming and having that conversation. Can't wait to see all of the future, current, and all the stuff that he's got going on in his life. After learning more about him, you can tell how immersed in his work he is, and I'm thankful for his time, thankful for your time. If you have any ideas for future guests or questions on this podcast, send me a shout, tomboyd2@gmail.com. I love to hear from you, and thanks again for hanging. Have a beautiful day. Bye.